Okay, hello everyone. The title of this presentation is how to move faster from an app idea to full-fledged app or startup and the end, hopefully. And my name is Michał Tajchert and I'm addicted to startups. I can safely say that. I also do Warsaw GDG events as a Dev Fest last weekend, for example. So I think Warsaw GDGs and Kraków as well is nice to follow. Android developer, part-time, freelancer, so whatever you like. And you can, if I wouldn't answer your questions or you have any additional after hours, you can always ping me at the Twitter. Okay, so this presentation is quite light. There won't be any technical ideas, technical solutions to problems probably, but there will be a software engineer point of view. Okay, so how my ideas are flowing to the final product. So let's start with the idea source. I think I got on last similar presentation, got the question from one of my friends, how I get ideas to that I execute finally. So basically, there are 3 bullet points: real life problems. So, and it's very connected to the second bullet point: exit your comfort zone. So basically, I recommend you to go on any meeting or meetup, maybe club meeting that is not connected to your hobbies directly. Maybe find new friends. Maybe just go to other city and try very different things that you normally do. And basically that gives you a very good opportunity to observe people, how they behave, what problems they tackle in their real life. And if you are not engaged and you don't have that muscle memory to do some action, you basically start to analyze that problem, and maybe you will find some better solution, even in the first place, why we do that thing, why we need to do that. And there is the subreddit on Reddit, the shower thoughts. And basically it's quite maybe silly, but it gives you the quite nice, I think, idea that some ideas came under the shower. Okay, and note it, as fast as you can, I use Google Keep with categories, which is quite awesome for that stuff, and as simple as needed. So that's best for me. Okay, and not to waste time, you only select best one of that list and validate in any way that you like, and probably in as many ways as you can to make them a final app, final startup that will be hopefully a success. Okay, basically you get an idea that you get a bunch of ideas. Probably some of them are quite revolutionary on the market, and you need to select only few of them and execute probably 1 or maybe 2 of them. Okay, and my first advice for you guys is to solve instead of create. You basically will find ideas, problems, and solving is 10 times, 100 times better than creating, because if you have an idea and you think, okay, there is the new API for that, and we as developers are quite tend to do so, or when we see new API like Google Nearby, and we like, okay, we can do like so many new apps with that, and that's going to be awesome, and that doesn't solve any problem, like real life problem. But instead, if we want to tackle the problem, like, okay, people on meetings like that or conferences like that are tending to exchange business cards. And normally they exchange maybe the like old school business cards, maybe they scan QR codes, maybe they use NFC, but in most cases it's like the hassle of like getting your phone, tapping it to another, like signing your barcode, which is like needed to be probably like oriented over the good light, the camera quality, and so on. But with the Google Nearby, you basically can just be nearby and exchange the data quite easily. So that's how you present the idea to the wider audience. And I think the quite nice example of the solving real life problem is my app, which was done for the university that I study currently on. I finished the computer studies, and now I am doing the business studies, so quite I recommend you like changing whole idea and maybe studying another field of science even. And basically the idea for the app, the app basically gives you the notification about canceled classes. And basically I did it because I got three classes in one day was canceled for me, and I was like, okay, that is like ridiculous to spend like that time at the university and wasting it basically. And it turned out it was quite weighted by students, and basically it turned out that university was like for 4 years already. They already had UI for that app, but they still didn't execute it because of, and there is like dozens of reasons. Okay, be sure to select the best idea, and that also is about selecting the right ideas when you have final product, the maybe final app that solves some problems. And you need to like focus on roadmap, the future features that you want to introduce in your app. And basically that chart is quite awesome for any hackathon. So basically in today's, I think the day after tomorrow, there is a hackathon there. And I think when you are mixed with the new people that you never met, and you basically even are like not sure about like what idea you want to choose, and you have to agree with the team on some idea, it's quite a problem to convince others that your idea is better probably, or maybe select the best one and be sure about that. So basically you post the post-it notes on that chart with some features or ideas how to solve some problem, real life problem in the best case. And the good advice there is that person that came up with an idea or note the post-it doesn't put it on the chart. So you basically maybe select the opposite person on the table, but there is the like you're very bind to your idea and you tend to like put it in the corner or like there. Okay, so there are like few examples that we did with the app for the university students. And basically you see the cancelled classes is quite easy because there was an RSS feed for that. Dean's office is quite more difficult because we need approval from the university for that. And events in students community are quite difficult because we need to convince students to input that information, and it's quite low value, at least for us. Okay, try viral marketing. I think that I succeeded at least like 2 times, but there is no recipe for that. And first example of that is the Pola app that basically you scan the product. Okay, how many of you heard about the Pola? Okay, it's like half of audience, maybe more. Awesome. Basically for others, you scan a product with your camera, with your barcode, and basically the app shows you how many of the capital by the company is owned in Poland, if they pay taxes in Poland, if they do R&D in Poland, things like that. That data is inputted by hand by some economists, so that's quite nice value of app. And basically it was done by 3 developers on currently today was a Windows Phone release, and the first idea was like we will do a quiet launch on 11 of November, so Dzień Niepodległości, Independence Day. And yeah, the first peak is the Independence Day, and basically we didn't expect even in our dreams that it will launch so fast. It was only shared on our Facebook pages and shared by our friends. So this only marketing by Facebook and a very close network of friends. And basically there was like not 0, but it was like 50 people testing it on closed beta testing. So also basically each user scans around 10 barcodes per day. Okay, the second app that I think quite succeeded on the market by viral marketing is 12 hours. Okay, the second question, how many of you heard about 12 hours? Okay, very few. This is the basically Android widget that shows you your meetings on the analog clock. So for example, if you have a meeting from the 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., it will mark that area on the clock on your widget. So that's simple. Basically, it took me 3 days to write it in the very first version, and I posted it on the Reddit on the Friday evening, and it was exactly what the title said, would love some feedback. So yeah, and it went crazy on the internet. I think so, I can say that. Okay, and there is another tip for you guys: collect as much data as possible on any stage of the startup or application, because I got statistics from the Google Play Store on that app as well as others, but zero more precise data, how users interact with my app, how they use it, how many events per day they have, how many calendars they select to show events from. So basically that was like my problem when we started to work on the hardware prototype, the hardware product, because at that point of time we needed to like spend some time to do market research, to do the how many like people tend to do, how many events per day they have on average, etc., etc. So that was like a problem at that point of time. And currently, I always introduce those two tools in my new projects, if they are not like going to be very popular. So okay, why Google Analytics? Because of the user flow in the application. So basically, you get information how your users interact with your app. So you can like see, okay, maybe some of those screens that are like there, maybe it's nice to like and are very popular at the like first stage. Maybe it's nice to put a button to a shortcut for them in the first screen, maybe. Okay, and also quite interesting information there. The red one is visualizing how many of users exit your app at particular screen. So it's quite important information because you want to minimize that amount as much as you can, at least in most cases. Of course, you can zoom it and focus on some particular screen and see how where the input to that screen came from and where the users went to. And also, you can visualize the whole flow of particular users on particular users of the particular screen. Also, you can like try to fiddle with this. Like maybe you can create a virtual screen with a bug report or something like that, and you can then see from what screens users with the crash or like any errors came to, like the non-existing screen. Okay, and also the new introduced to me tool, the Google Tag Manager, and basically it allows you to, on the runtime, basically when app is deployed, to fiddle with some parameters, fiddle with the tags that you want to follow, how you want to track your users. It's looking quite nice, but I don't have real life data on that because it was like new to me for it on today. Also, I tend to use Fabric.io or Answers.io if you want only the statistics data. And basically, of course, you get the most common data, that how many users per day there are, like how many monthly users you got, crash-free users maybe as well. But quite interesting in the Fabric.io is that you can specify very easily your events, like triggers in the Google Analytics. But with I tend to use Fabric.io for some reason, so it's maybe better, faster for me. And also, it's this is the view of particular events. So basically, you got the how many event count per day you got, how many average count per user that event occurred. So it's quite interesting to see that data. Okay, and another tip for you guys about like application development or maybe startup development, it's needed time is like 2.5 time that you estimated in the first place. I think it's quite safe to estimate that in the first place, because maybe if you like have very skillful team and you use the very right tools, you can minimize the time, you can minimize your cost of that you didn't estimate in the first place. But from my experience and what I was heard from others, it's always like that. So and to minimize the time that you like spend like not knowing what is happening. I tend to use Trello, and I was surprised that quite many people didn't know about Trello or other tools quite similar to the Trello, so the Kanban board. So I can recommend you, especially if you work with some project managers or you are a project manager and you lack of the knowledge what your programmers do, where they are, what we need to do to like ship the 1.0 or something like that. And probably this is quite important one. One core feature. You just need to focus on one core feature. We as developers tend to like go from one place to another. Maybe today I will work on that feature a little bit, and tomorrow I will come back there. And okay, I now have an idea how we can like tackle that problem, and I will go there and like mess with that code there. And in such case, basically after a week or two, you are like in 3-4 places at the same time doing changing code, and it's quite hard to manage as well to deliver final product. Okay, tech tips, as this is the droidcon. Live templates. How many of you heard about live templates in Android Studio? Okay, not bad. Okay, live templates, it was IntelliJ tool to help us develop fast. Basically, you start to, okay, I will show you in a second. Android Material Design Icon Generator plugin. Very cool name. It's quite catchy. I don't know what is the acronym for that, but okay. It basically allows you to use very easily icons from the Google Material Design icons in the project, basically by right-clicking import, and you select icon color, density of that icon, whatever you like. A few clicks and you have your icon. Event bus, butter knife, tools that are probably like day bread for me in every project. Material design and sample library. Sample library can be tricky in some cases, but in most, I think the fab buttons was already fixed. There are still some issues with the pull down to refresh, and oh yeah, the recycler view together. So still tricky, but quite nice to speed up your project. Okay, the live templates. Basically, what they do is you input, for example, FBC letters, and you press, I think the default is tab or enter, and basically it creates the find view by ID with casting to the right type for you, like that. Nice, like I think it's quite nice to know that it was IntelliJ feature. There was no Android support for like quite a time. I think it was originated by key surfer guy on GitHub that create the like repository to like easily add Android specific live templates, and not to be like self-promoting, but the Android clock it was my pull request. Okay, Android Material Design Icon Generative plugin. As said, you basically can search, select correct icon, correct density of that icon. You can name it like whatever you like, and you can see the preview of the icon. Okay, event bus. How many of you are familiar with the event bus? Okay, probably all. Okay, so the like quite nice. If you use the Android Wear or anything that uses the Google Notes or nearby notes, or are they? I'm not sure by now. Basically, I created the event bus for them, and basically you can easily send information. You have the same event bus that you tend to use on the Android Wear, for example, that can be synchronized with the phone. Okay, beta testing. It might be obvious, but basically I highly recommend you doing the beta testing. And this is the app for the students. This was the first week on the around 120 students done. And basically the good thing that I did it because I think it was released on the Monday. 100 the students installed it, and a few hours after the launch, the university published the new information that was very, very differently formatted on their RSS, and basically 75% of app sessions was like crashes. So the first week was like patching the bugs and like seeing what the users are requesting for. And the next Monday I released the final version, and it was like the right thing to do, I think, from the point of view of time. Okay, thank you.